What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the DA Integra build series here. Today we just got home from work and I noticed there's some parts sitting on the deck, so let's check it out, see what came in. Ooh, what do we have here? Looks like some innovative parts and something else. We'll get these boxes cracked open and see what we got. All right, so we'll see what we got in this big box first. Get this wrapping out of here. Woo! Look at that. Got an innovative traction bar. Really nice joints. These must be the strut rods, they call them, I believe. Should be two of these bad boys in there as well. Yeah, so this will replace the factory strut rod subframe assembly. Two of them in there. Also, we got some billet shifter bushings. Get rid of the polyurethane ones that are in there. And to go along with that, and the reason I got these is for this right here. It's hard doing this one-handed, sorry. Oh, shit. We got ourselves a adjustable shifter. Oh yeah. So we'll get this stuff over to the car and we'll probably start working on it today maybe. Won't get it all done, but we'll start working on it. So this is the traction bar here that we got in. I'm going to get the car jacked up, get the old strut rod bar pulled out so you guys can see a comparison of it. Pretty huge difference between this though and the one that we're about to pull. So I'll get that jacked up and yeah, we'll go from there. As you can see, that was a royal pain in the ass. The jack too tall to fit underneath there, so I had to roll the car on some pieces of wood to be able to jack it up. So got it up in the air. Now we're going to get underneath it and unbolt the bar that runs across and the strut rods. And also take the wheels off. So alright, so underneath here, this is the rods that we're going to be replacing along with that bar. So, let's see if I can get in here. They attach down there on the control arm. So, attaches onto there, and it goes up into here with bushings. And with this bar that we are currently putting on here, it doesn't have bushings here. Comes with these helical deals that thread into these rods. So the theory is by eliminating that bushing, you don't get, you're actually under hard braking too, but as well as acceleration, the wheel will actually move and you can get wheel hop from acceleration. The big thing I was noticing is when I was autocrossing, I would get under hard braking. I could actually feel the wheel move, and my steering would even get a little weird, depending on if I was like trying to brake into a corner a little bit and cornering at the same time. So definitely stiffen up the front suspension with that. So we'll get the other wheel off and go from there. All right, so we're under the car here. This is that big subframe piece that goes underneath the strut rod bar. There's the bushing inside of there. So we got 2 of these bolts on each end. 1 there, or 2 there, sorry, and 2 there. So we're just gonna undo those bolts quick and then loosen up the ones on the control arm. I'm not going to take them all the way out. I'm just going to loosen them so they're a few threads in so the whole thing doesn't come crashing down. Loosen up the other ones. Ratcheting wrenches for this are really nice. Trying to use a regular wrench on this would be a real pain in the butt. You can't really get a socket in there with a ratchet, so a wrench is kind of your only option unless you want to tear a bunch more shit apart. So we got the rods all disconnected from the control arm. Now we're just gonna take these bad boys out. So we'll drop this bad boy out of here. So we got her out. You can see on here the stock one, I had to notch this to fit the header in there because there was no room in between the header and that, so I had to notch it. But you can see the big difference here between the stock one and the aftermarket bar. It's, you know, probably half the size or a third of the size of that one. So your bolts to hold that in, you got 2 of these on each side. And then on the control arm, you got these as well. So not a whole lot of hardware to take them off. The big thing is going to be with these rods that we're putting onto here, I have to set and line everything up so that way when it goes back together, it's the exact same length, because otherwise it'll change the caster on there, and we don't want to do that. I don't want to have to go get alignment just for replacing this. So we're going to try and measure everything, line everything up, so it's the exact same as this setup, so we don't have to get an alignment. Otherwise you would. So we have these conical bushings we have to install here. So I'll kind of show you how that goes quick. So when you get it, it's going to come like this. So what we need to do is unscrew the nut. It's going to have a washer on each end, and then you got your bolt here. So just make sure you don't lose any of these bushings on each side. So we'll take that off, and we'll put that, install it into here. Alright, so what I did was I flipped the bar upside down and I placed it on top of the old one, threw the old bolts in to line everything up. Just an FYI on these jam nuts right here, you are going to need a 24mm wrench. The performance advantage is definitely, from what I've seen, worth it for sure. So I actually ended up having to drop it back down. Make sure before you even put these bolts in that you at least set the rod on top. So you got to fish the rods up over before you tighten these bolts in. Otherwise, if you bolt these up first, you don't get enough leverage to swing this up inside of there. So fish the rods up through, then put your cross member up and put your bolts in. So we got the bar rod, bolts in there, finger tight. Went in super easy since we had something to kind of mock it up off of. Now we're going to tighten these down. many Ugga-Duggas does it take? Comment down below. All right, guys, we got all the bolts tight. You can see down there, there's a lot of room in between the header now. Also, you want to take note, you are able to use the factory radiator mounts with this traction bar. That was the main reason I went with the innovative one versus the K-Tune. The K-Tune, I believe you have to cut and relocate your radiator mounts. So yeah, this one was super simple to do. I think I maybe had 40 minutes in it. That's with, you know, dicking around, filming, and everything else. So yeah, not too bad. Yeah, I would really appreciate you guys if you'd subscribe to the channel. I could really use it. My goal this year is to hit 1,000 subscribers. Don't know if we'll make it, but we'll just set that goal out there. I will probably be doing a separate video. Actually, I will be doing a separate video for the shifter and bushings. So stay tuned for that also. Hit the like button and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. We'll see you guys on the next one.